All right, so I'm at Sherwood Country Club with Jeff Zurowitz here, 30secondgolflessons.com.
That's correct.
And I'm gonna get a lesson here, so we're gonna record it. And what other socials do you have?
Yeah, so I am on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all under 30 Second Golf Lessons. My website, 30secondgolflessons.com, to learn about all my packages, programs, and about myself.
Let's go. So I feel like when I'm in a round not thinking about practice, I get at the top and I come down and I'm all upper body.
Yeah.
And I have misses left and right.
Sure.
When I practice, I focus on getting this back hip.
Yeah.
Here, what we were practicing.
Yeah.
I'm also working on more flexion.
Sure.
I don't know if it's just more reps, but
when you're talking about it getting stuck, number one, the sequence is ground up. You got to lead the downswing with the lower body. And number two, when you have flexion at the top, the club needs to be in a lighter position and more vertical. Okay, what you're demonstrating is that the club is very flat at the top, okay, which you can't compress with that. And golf is all about opposites. So if you want to drop it in and flatten it, it needs to be vertical to start off with.
So I'm too much like this.
You're at the top, you are. I rather it be more to this position at the top, and then when that lower body leads the downswing, this will drop. Then now it could get shallow and come from the inside, okay, as opposed to, oh, I'm gonna come from the inside. Well, no, now you're actually probably gonna come over the top. That's why your sequence is off, especially if your upper body goes first. Now you're gonna pull the shit out of everything, as opposed to club goes up here, then it could drop down in there and be super fast there. And it's also ground up in the takeaway. All right, stay at setup position. Okay, so there's your weight shift. That's it. Now your weight's on the right, correct? Okay, now your hips go from there, where that right hip is working deep and flat.
Okay.
All right, we could start talking about that sequence of how the body works in the downswing. What I talk about is squat and drop. The lower body is gonna squat. Good, so your knees separate, good. And so when you squat, you're gonna drop the club head back here like Sergio. Then that left leg extends. Yep, see how that pulled it through? Right, and that's just because sequence was proper.
Such an awkward feeling. I know when I start to swing, it feels like the club is way out there and closed.
Right. Well, here, do this again. Let me show you. Let me show you how far you're going to take this club outside. That club's way outside, right? But your hands are inside, right? This club is just on plane. The club is actually, it didn't go out here.
That's true. Yeah.
It's still in front of your forearms. That's a really strong position. Then it would switch on the down. Yep.
When I get the club a little bit more laid off here and coming from the inside, my follow, I don't feel as much pain in my hips, my lower back, and I feel like you can really hold the finish a lot better.
When the hips tilt, when the right hip gets higher than the left, right, that's pressure. You feel that on your sciatica and such. Right? Now, put the club underneath your belt. Now pull your right hip back, but keep the club flat. Doesn't that feel better?
Yes. Wow. Okay.
You showed me, you're like, oh, I'm working on hip, but I saw how much higher your right hip was from your left. So that right hip has to work deep. The hips don't tilt much in the takeaway. They tilt about 10%.
Okay.
Okay, so there's gonna be a little bit of the right hip being slightly above the left, but it's just slight. Like you were more in that 20.
Well, my left
20
knee's more flexed.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. Your left shoulder, your left knee is flexed more, but this should be in here a little bit more to create the depth. Yeah, that's a good position. That right leg stays at angle.
That feels so weird.
Right, good, because that means you're doing it the other way is incorrect.
Yeah.
Because it's a different feeling.
Yeah.
So we're always working. Right hip depth is a great way to produce energy. Turn is a great way to produce energy. Sequence is a great way to produce energy, right? You look at these long drive dudes, they're picking their feet up. Matthew Wolff and Martin Borgmeier are all going from a moving position. Yeah. It's easy to go from sprint if you're already jogging. The more stable you are over the golf ball, or the more static you are over the golf ball, the more difficult it is to perform explosiveness. Flexed, right? Now I could rebound, I could do whatever I want. Boom, then I pop off that thing.
Yeah, my lower body's too quiet. To get a full backswing, I slide.
Yep.
Every single video I watch myself, I slide. There's no turn. My lower body slides, my upper body turns, and I'm fucking over the top.
So stay there. I don't know if we did this last time.
What is this?
My Hi-Tech $5, got it at 5 below. Okay. So right hand only here.
Okay.
Okay. Now start the lawnmower. How's your hips work? Right?
Wow.
Okay, so when you do, yes, exactly. So when you're at the gym, cable machine, cable rows, all right, this is the same thing. Good, good. Now pull it a little bit higher next time, like over your right shoulder. Good, good. Go away from this stick. There it is. Yep. Now you're tight. Good job.
Wow.
Good. Now your hips are working flat. So when you see that on the video, your right hip is just a little bit. Yep. Good shoulder turn. This is extended. Good. Very good. Okay, now let's go left hand. Follow through. It's the same thing. It's just symmetry. Good. Left leg extended, right? Which created hip turn. Extension, ground force creates hip turn.
Because this is just...
That's it.
It's instinctive.
So now, so the takeaway is the starting of the lawnmower. The downswing is the squat. So it'd go from squat into there, boom. Then it would be start the lawnmower on the left side. Yep, that's the sequence. It's all ground.
That's what I'm gonna think about now every time. That's amazing.
Thank you. And then we gotta get the club on playing a little bit more. Okay. We haven't even hit any golf balls yet. Right, because the club's working up now. That's where trajectory comes in. Actual true trajectory comes from a flat shaft angle at impact. So no, that's vertical. That would be upright. That's flat.
It's flat. Okay.
Right. Okay. Now go take the club up, straight up. Okay. So squat. There's your drop. Okay. So now the club could come from the inside and flatter. When it's deliberately put in this position, it's gonna go downswing is like that. Okay, as opposed to that opposite here, and then it kind of does that on its own.
Gotcha.
Dude, that was such a good sequence there.
All I'm thinking about is pulling that lawnmower.
Yep. It's very difficult to put yourself in a bad position when you gather the energy in that way. That was the best one.
Gosh.
That ball's in the air forever.
That's crazy.
The arms just got a little quick in that takeaway there. Let's do a drill here. So stay there. Let's put the butt of the club into your belly button, right? Belly button drill here. Okay, but we're gonna do two things with this. So let's just take it back to parallel with hip turn. Good, okay? So now from here, it's bicep curl. Notice how the butt of the club is inside of the target line in your stand. That's a great position there. This should be extended a little bit more. Good. And then you can start pulling down. Look at it, matches the line again. Club face looks pretty square there, doesn't it? Left elbow now turns into the right elbow. Club's right back to where it was. So it's belly button drill to bicep curl. Turn that right foot, good. Go slow, good. Now bicep curl. Good. Don't feel like you gotta get flat here. I rather have the club be up here more.
Okay.
You know, because it's gonna flatten itself out in the downswing on its own.
Okay.
So this is a 3-step drill. Stomp, turn, curl. Okay? That doesn't feel right. Doesn't that feel more efficient and easier? The club's supposed to work up and down, right? If I drop the club, drop the club, because it's heavy and flat. Club's upright. Now when it drops, you could pull the handle up and it gets lighter and faster. We're not ready for that part yet.
Here.
That slide, you slid. Your right leg has to stay at an angle. Yes. Better. But stays there level. Good. That's a great position.
Now, this compared to this, like, where do you want me?
If you go to belly button drill again and you turn, well, your hands are getting closer to your heels. Then now your hands are more in line with your heels, which is a natural in to out.
Okay.
Right here, switch with me. Did I take that club outside? Right, it's still the club is still in front of my hands. The club went inside of the ball.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, look where my hands are. They're outside of my toes.
Yeah.
Okay, but if I do this, which is an exaggeration, look at my hands are in the heels.
Yeah.
Okay, now the club could come from the inside naturally. I could get back to in to out and create those shallow divots in the baby draw or whatever I want.
Yeah.
You know, depends on how good I am in a returning my body, because that's what Dustin Johnson's doing. They're all getting into here, but it depends. Do you want to draw it, then your arms go out while your body turns, or you just keep turning like a mofo, and that's what brings the path to the left, and your face is going to be right of that.
Gotcha.
Even though they have a shut face, which is just dynamic body, dynamic sequence.
That's crazy, because I literally practice what you I've practiced that instead of this.
Yeah, and that's like an extreme.
Sure.
But really, what we're looking for is that and that to match. Okay. Then the club could go up, and it's in that light position, pointed right back down to the line. Now get your weight left and squat. Good. Now you could go do whatever you want from there.
Yeah, this feels.
You could release it with your body, you could release it with your hands, but it's all in the slot.
Gotcha.
The true in to out.
Gotcha. I feel like this is just what it feels like. It feels like the club's way out here. I'm practicing this move so much.
For sure. But there's a difference between hand path and club path. The hands could go inside as much as they want.
As long as it's here.
As long as the club head doesn't.
It just feels like there's so much more power there too.
Yeah. You can see that one.
That's so much higher than I was expecting. Great.
Yeah, good sequence there. Like that.
No, it's pretty.
Thanks.
Are you hitting draws?
If I have something that's working, I'm just gonna play it.
Yeah.
For simplicity.
Yeah.
You know, and the simplicity also equals consistency. Ground. Squat. My left knee's going this way. I didn't open up my upper body. Clubs dropped into the slot and shallow.
Yep.
Continue to rotate. Boom, compressed. Turn, squat, drop.
Wow.